All right, let's dive into a spy story that has a serious twist. If you're coming here expecting, high-tech gadgets and crazy car chases, you're in for a big surprise. We're about to meet a secret agent whose greatest weapon isn't a gun. It's his mind and his uncanny ability to spin a totally convincing lie. This one line, spoken by our hero, Ausable, really sets the entire stage. It's basically him looking at us and at every spy movie cliché we've ever seen and saying, "Yeah, I know what you were hoping for." He's about to show us something completely different. So, who is this unconventional secret agent? Well, his name is Ausable, and he is, to put it mildly, a huge disappointment to a young writer named Fowler who was tagging along hoping for a real, thrilling spy adventure. I mean, just look at this comparison. On the left, that's the spy we all picture, right? The James Bond type, slick and ready for anything. And on the right, well, that's our guy, Ausable. The story literally describes him as fat, very fat, wheezing his way through a gloomy hotel. This is the story's first big lesson. What you see is definitely not what you get. So, just as Fowler's about to write the whole evening off as a complete bust, the story finally delivers. Ausable flips on the light in his hotel room, and Fowler gets what the book calls his first authentic thrill of the day. Because, you see, they are not alone. And here he is, our antagonist, Max. Now, he fits the spy image a little better. He's slender, kind of fox-like, and he's holding a pistol. His mission is simple. He's there to steal a super important report about new missiles that Ausable is waiting for. The threat is 100% real, but as we're about to see, Max's confidence, that's his biggest mistake. So, with a gun pointed right at him, does Ausable panic? Does he break a sweat? Not for a second. Instead of reaching for some hidden weapon, he just sits down heavily in a chair and launches his counterattack using the only weapons he has, his words and his incredible wits. And this right here, this is Ausable's superpower, presence of mind. See, it's not about being the strongest guy in the room or the fastest. It's about being the calmest and the smartest, especially when that room has a gunman in it. And here it is, the first shot in his mental battle. With a voice full of pure annoyance, Ausable starts complaining about a balcony. He plants the first seed of a lie so genius, it's going to decide everybody's fate. And notice, he's not talking to Max. He's complaining about the situation to Fowler. It is a masterful piece of misdirection. And look at how he builds this lie. He doesn't just say, "Hey, there's a balcony." No, he crafts an entire backstory for it. He says it belongs to the apartment next door, explains that his room used to be part of a bigger suite, and even gripes about hotel management. All these little details make his fiction sound like a boring, everyday fact. Now, just as Max is trying to process this whole balcony thing, there's a sudden knock at the door. Ausable doesn't miss a beat. He calmly drops his second layer of deception. Oh, that'll be the police. He says he told them to check on him because of the important report he's expecting. The pressure on Max just went from 10 to 100. Okay, this is the moment of truth. The knocking at the door gets louder. Max is totally trapped. On one side, he's got the police, or so he thinks. On the other, the spy he's holding at gunpoint. He's got to make a split-second choice, and his only way out is the escape route that Ausable just conveniently invented for him. You can practically see the logic trap snapping shut. Max hears the knocking, his brain immediately jumps to police, and his eyes dart to the window. That balcony story gives him an out, a place to hide. He tells Ausable to send the cops away, swings his legs over the windowsill, and just lets go, totally expecting to land safely on a balcony. And then, just a single sharp scream cutting through the darkness. And that's it, the whole dangerous confrontation over in one terrifying second. The threat is gone. The room is quiet, well, except for Fowler, who's just standing there pale as a ghost trying to figure out what on earth just happened. And now comes the grand reveal of Ausable's genius. Fowler stammers out the question that's on all of our minds. What about the police? The knocking felt so real, the threat was so immediate. How did Ausable know they were coming? And this slide just lays out the whole brilliant deception perfectly. Max died because he believed in the world on the left, a balcony that could save him and police that could catch him. But Ausable, and now us, we know the reality on the right. There was never any balcony, and that knock at the door, that was just a waiter with a drink that Ausable had ordered before any of this ever went down. So that non-existent balcony, it ends up being way more than just a clever plot device, right? It's a symbol for the entire story. It represents the power of a creative mind to build a reality so convincing that it can defeat a gun without ever firing a shot.
You know, what I love about this story is how it translates into real-world skills. What Ausable does here is an elite-level display of problem-solving, communication, and emotional control. He doesn't just solve a problem. He literally invents a solution out of thin air. It's a masterclass in how to stay calm and think your way out of trouble.
And that's the final, chilling line, delivered with perfect calm by Ausable. He just lays out the simple, brutal truth, confirming that his victory was absolute and achieved entirely through the power of his mind.
So that really leaves us with this final thought. The Midnight Visitor isn't just a clever spy story. It's a powerful reminder that the most amazing weapon we have is our ability to think, to stay calm, and to create. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? When the pressure's really on, what do you reach for first?